Okay, so this is my student Shaylin, and we're going to do our technical lesson. We're going to do the double loop, and the purpose of this is to try and get a little bit stronger double loop so we can put it on our combos. Double loop's worth a little bit more than the double toe, so we're trying to incorporate that into our both long and short program to increase our chances of getting a higher mark. So, to start off, we're going to do a few progressions. We're going to start off with just the loop, 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 so 4 loops in a row, and we'll stick to the regular pattern, so it's on a slight diagonal down this way. Okay? Good. All right. So very good. The whole goal with this is to try and keep the loops growing, so that the second one is higher, and the third one's higher, and the fourth one's the highest. We also want to try and keep the direction going on that diagonal, so it doesn't hook around. So when you're going up, you want to try and feel like we're just going to pop up, straight up. Then we have a little bit more of a delay, and just really push the direction of the jump on that consistent circle so it doesn't hook around. Okay, so let's try one more time. Good, so I think if we were to take a look, we would see a little bit of a difference there in terms of the height that she's getting on the last one. Certainly for combos, we want to get a little bit of more height for the last jump. Get the first one done, power up again, and then really push it up and then squeeze. So the next one that we're going to do is an exercise to work on controlling the upper body. We like to pre-rotate a little bit with the upper body, so we do traveling threes in the H position into just one loop, and we're just going to try and keep this pressure in the shoulder. So right through here, that shoulder right there, we're just going to keep that pressure so nothing's moving and nothing's going through all the turns and through the loop. Okay, so traveling threes into loop. Okay. Alright, so for the actual takeoff, like the control was pretty good through the turns. For the actual takeoff, we kind of used a little bit of that hip to kind of push up that way, and really it should just stay there. So what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a little bit of kind of that and then up, and really it should just stay there and push up and over a little bit more even. So it's kind of just dropping out a bit, right? So you want to kind of keep that there, keep the pressure through the hips, feel like there's a pin right through your hips there, and everything just stays. When we go to take off for the loop, it's just going to push up and across just a little bit more. Okay? Alright, let's try again. Good. So this is an exercise that I think is very important and very developmental. It's something that needs to be done fairly often. I usually have my skaters start their session with this exercise to really focus in on the control through the hips and through that shoulder so that nothing's moving. We just use the power and the load of the skating leg to push us up and then again over top. Good. Alright, so we're going to do next the pivot to the backspin, and then once we've got into the tight knee backspin, we're going to go open again with a single loop on the end. So it's going to be down, hip up, hold, tight knee, back to knee again, pop up, and loop jump on the end. Okay? So the free leg kind of a little bit on the exit, sort of hung out at the side there. I like the exit to be a little bit stronger with getting that free leg out, so it's a little bit faster. We can't kind of hang out with that free leg at the side, or it won't continue to get that flow coming out. So it's going to be kind of hooked and rounded. We might actually fall with that. So just feel like from here, from this position, you're going up and across, and then really push that out a little bit quicker. Okay, but still keep it up. All right. Okay, good. So a little bit kind of off the hip on the start there, a little bit off the hip right when you first pushed. But I thought that the actual end was much improved, so we were able to keep that up and check out there. So, good. All right, next up we are going to do the H to D to H exercise around a little bit of a circle. So that's this one here. We're going down, press, again, pressure here, pressure and then up, snap, up, and exit. So it's hard to show on this angle, but we're going down on the circle, up, tight D, pressure coming out, and pressure through the hip and through here as we exit. Okay, let's do that on a little circle here. Good. So not bad, not bad. What we definitely want to feel is that as we start to snap for the D, that we don't snap and it kind of rotates, it goes this way. We want to snap to the D and maintain that lead with the left side. This left side's always in front, right? So right through the full rotation, through the rotating, it would stay in front. So just concentrate on pushing this muscle there forward, keeping it strong, strong, strong through the whole thing. Okay, one more time. Good. Okay, that was good. You achieved that goal. Next thing I'd like to do is I'd actually like to get a bit of a knee bend going into it. So I'll do it my way because I'm revert. But we're going to go here, down, up, up, and out. And yeah, so you just have that more closely simulated to what the actual jump would be like if we don't take off the stiff legs. So we're straight, down, up, across, up, and out. Okay? Okay, good. That was much better. I would even bring the arms in a little bit later. We're working on trying to get higher jumps and bigger jumps. We need to try and delay things a bit, so we're not thinking of snapping rotation in really fast. Shaylin's a strong skater. She's got a lot of height. She has the ability to get more height, but we're kind of pulling in quite early. So for the walkthrough, for this walkthrough here, we're going to go down and up and stay open, then snap, then up, and then push out. So just kind of as you go up, keep this pressure here, just keep it open, delay it, then pull it in, okay? Good. So that's an exercise that I would like to work on because we're kind of, the shoulder's going a little bit, we can see. But we would like to work on that a little bit more to kind of finalize that a bit. All right, so we're going to go for the double loop. Why don't we go into one more single loop and do it on a regular pattern. So just one single loop, regular pattern as it's set up in the program. Very good. So I could see the delay there. I could see there was a lot of thought put into the delay. We have this nice pressure here, and everything goes up. We lift and roll up through the hip, and then pulling the arms in second. So we've got that nice, weight before we snap. Good. Feel good with that? All right. Let's go for the double loop. Try to play double loop with the extended three legs. Okay, so That probably felt a little bit kind of tight, hey? Felt a little bit small, so we had that kind of feeling of just pulling down and in right away. And really what we're looking for is just a little bit more air before we kind of squeeze into that D position. So what we'll do is we'll actually go back and do another progression that I do with the double loop, and that's just doing like a single loop backspin, so we really have that maximum kind of pop in that check arm position and then snap it over. So it's going to be really big and delayed. So that's how that gets. We go here, up, open, and snap, up, and out. Okay. Okay, good. So the way we use the hips is very important on this jump. If the hip is kind of dropped out, we're going nowhere. We're going to be sideways. So I actually like to see it done with a reverse mohawk with Shaylin. And the reason is because when we do this reverse mohawk, we kind of cross behind, the foot kind of goes in front and slightly across so that we can actually pop up and lift that way better. We used to do it off the back three like this. And I found that we would sometimes be leaning out even before we start. So leaning out on the takeoff, chances are it's going to be leaning out on the air position and the landing. So I'm going to get you to do another single loop, right? And I really want you to feel as though you're popping up and rolling up through that hip to that H position a little bit more. So activate that hip muscle just a bit more as you go up and over. Okay, so just a single loop on that pattern. You don't have to do the Ina Bauer. Good, so that has a nice delay to it. I thought that one went really well. That's kind of what we need on the double. So the double and the single have to be feeling the same. The only difference is, of course, is that we're going up and delaying, and then we're going to be across and snap really quick. But don't think about snapping. I just want you to think about that pressure that we talked about before through that hip. So we're pushing down, loading up the leg, pushing up through our H and across, so that really activating that hip muscle, and then snapping. Okay? Alright, let's do the double loop. Good, so good save on that one. I thought that one had more lift than the last one, and that's really the purpose of the lesson. I'd actually like to see a little bit more of a knee bend prior to takeoff. She looked a little bit kind of stiff when we were working on the walkthrough. We're working on a little bit of that kind of pressure and then pop and lift. So I'm going to get you to do it with a bit of a double knee bend so we can get into the ice. You have to rely on your leg power and, like I say, snapping through the hip rather than using this to get your body up. Everybody wants to use the upper body. So again, pressure there. And we're going to do another single, okay, just to continue to make it better. It's already really good. But add the double knee bend in. Okay, so you're really focusing that energy on the hip, knee, and ankle down. Okay, another single. Good, so I'm mostly happy with that. I think that things can continue to get bigger and stronger and more delayed, but overall we're moving in the right direction. Okay, good. So you felt what that felt like? Remember the feeling, skating is a feeling, so just get to the knees, push that double knee bend down, and lift from the hip, then squeeze in. Okay, do you want to walk through one more? Alright. Down, and right. Good. Okay. Alright, so double loop one more time, and we'll do it without the Ina Bauer, just the double loop by itself. Yeah, double loop. Yes, please, with the double knee bend. Good, so that's getting a lot stronger, I have to say. Overall, the goal when we just do double loop by itself should be an exact smooth edge coming out, so we're staying on the same circle. It's a little bit coming around for the combos, but you know, overall I think it feels much better, hey? We've been working a little bit on trying to put the double loop on the combos, so do we want to try the loop double loop then? Okay, so this one's a little bit more of a challenge, and remember, just keep that hip popping up, make the single loop a little smaller so you have some energy left for the double loop. Okay, good. So did you feel the upper body being used more than the lower body? Right, so we want to really make sure that as we bend in the knee bend, with the double knee bend, we have to keep the pressure in our arms. So you feel like you're pushing down on a surface and something's pushing down on you, so it just stays there. We're just using the knees and the leg power to push us up. There's no kind of bouncing. Alright, so we'll try one more. Alright, no problem. So that's an element that we have just started working on, and we're going to leave it at that. We will work on this a little bit more in future, but I think with the progressions that we're doing, it's really important to focus on the process and the progressions to make the takeoff more consistent and more solid and stable, so that in future we're a little bit more prepared to do the loop double loop. Very good. And any questions? Good. Excellent. Thank you.